For today's video, we're going to be learning about the distributive property. So the distributive property just states, and that should be a plus sign here, a plus sign there, that if you have a quantity A times another quantity B plus C inside parentheses, you can, what we say, distribute or multiply the A by the B and the A by the C to get your new answer. So if we're using some numbers there, we have 2x plus 1. Well, multiplication, like if we had 2 times x, that just means we've got 2x's, x plus x, right? So here we've got 2x plus 1s, should be x plus 1 plus x plus 1, and then we can add like terms, so the x's get added together, which is 2x, and the 1's get added, which is 2. And that is the same thing as doing 2 times x and 2 times 1. So you distribute what's on the outside to everything on the inside. You only do this when this is multiplication. And then you've got plus or minus on the inside of the parentheses. So just a couple quick examples. This first one, do 8 times d, 8 times 3. So you get 8d plus 24. 3 times 8 is 24. When you've got two parentheses, just means multiplication. Same thing as having that number not in parentheses. 9 times 9 is 81. 9 times k is 9k. If we were doing this in standard form, you would rewrite that with an alphabetical order with the constant or the number by itself at the end. So now that we've kind of gone over the distributive property, we also have what's called the reverse distributive property, which is just going backwards. So you look, what do these two terms have in common? The 3a and the 3b, well, they both have a 3 in common here. So that means out front here there was a 3. If you reverse that again, 3 times a is 3a, 3 times b is 3b. For the second example here, we see that we have 7x plus 7m. Well, those two terms, they both share a 7 in common, so the 7 comes out of the parentheses, and then we're left with an x plus m on the inside. So looking at these two terms, we've got bx and b6. They both share a b, so we're going to pull that b out of both of those terms. It's basically like we're dividing both terms by b, which cancel each other out. So we're left with a b on the outside, and then we've got x plus 6 on the inside. Both of these share a 5, so we're going to pull a 5 out, and you're left with a d plus a 4 on the inside. If you distributed this 5 back out, you would have 5 times d, which is 5d, and 5 times 4, which is what we started with, 5d plus 5 times 4. Then it's just a little more complex here. We are looking at what do these two terms share in common. Well, they're both even, so we know a 2 goes into them. So we're going to pull a 2 out, and then like I shared earlier, it's like we're dividing both these terms by 2. 14 divided by 2 is 7, so we're left with a 7x, and then 8 divided by 2 is plus 4. If we distribute that 2 back out, we would have 14x plus 8y, which is what we started with. So this here would be our final answer. Our last example here, we've got a 20 and a 5. Both of those share a 5, so we're going to pull a 5 out, and then we'll be left with a 4a. 5 divided by 5 is 1, so it'll be 4a plus 1. Now, I can't remember if you'll have an example like this next one to write out on your homework, but just a quick thing in case we do. If you had like 2, or let's do 6x plus 15x. Well, they both, a 3 goes into the 6 and the 15, but they also both have an x. So you could take a 3x out and be left with a 2x plus a 5x. Or 2 plus 5, I mean. Because we pulled the 3x out of here, x divided by x cancel each other out. X divided by x cancel each other out, so the x comes out front. There's no x's in the parentheses.